Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. I am Andrea, your host of Andrea Speaks TV. And I first want to say thank you all so much for your support of the channel, whether you have watched the videos, whether you're a subscriber, a supporter, or if you have even shared the videos with your family members or friends. I want to say thank you so much, and I appreciate you for your support. So this is episode 46. That's it, right, y'all. We are 46 episodes in here on Andrea Speaks TV, and we're going to keep going. So today I want to come, or this morning I want to come and I want to speak about the recent news of the declassification of September 11th investigation documents. Now, as many of you know, on yesterday, September 11th, 2021, many people around the country, around the United States, and around the world commemorated what was the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks. And so for many of us, it was a day of reflection. It was a day of remembrance, and it was a day of honor for those who, tragically lost their lives that day, those who were even survivors, remembering the events surrounding September 11, 2001, and also to honor those who fought to save those who were involved in the tragic events, those who worked, for example, in the World Trade Center and surrounding buildings, and also a day of remembrance and honor to those who gave their lives, to help those who were in need on that day. So I remember I was around back in 2001, 20 years ago, and I remember being where I was, and myself as well as other people, it's just like I remember that as soon as the news broke, I remember just stopping, and myself along with the others that I was with, we were all just stopped, and it was breaking news. It was flashing on the television, and I just remember stopping, trying to process, okay, what is this that I'm watching? Like, what's going on? I had never seen anything like this happen before. And I just remember it just being, just some confusion, just seeking clarity as far as what was going on. And, we know that there were several changes that came out of the September 11th attacks. Things were very different. Things were very different. And so I want to say those families who were affected by the September 11th events, you are in my thoughts and prayers. Family members, survivors. I feel like just as a whole, as a country, even, the world, everyone was affected some kind of way. But especially those who lost loved ones, those who were survivors, those who were right there on the front lines. You are in my thoughts as well as my prayers. But, I just want to say, I just wanted to say that. But this morning, I want to come here on Andrea Speaks TV, and I want to speak to you about some recent news that President Biden has ordered the declassification of September 11th investigation documents. And I want to give you some details. So again, this is presented by Andrea from Andrea Speaks TV, and this is episode 46. And today is Sunday, September 12th, 2021. Okay. All right. So as you all can see, I'm sharing my screen with you. And so I'm going to go ahead and give you some details. All right. So my research comes from NBC News. And the title of the article says, Biden orders declassification of September 11th investigation documents. All right. Again, this information comes from NBC. All right. So according to the article, it says President Joe Biden is ordering the widespread declassification of information collected during the U.S. investigation of the September 11th terrorist attacks, following growing pressure to do so from family members of the victims. All right. The article also goes on to share that the order lays out specific timelines over the next 6 months for the release of the documents, with some set to be released as early as next week's, meaning this current week, 20th anniversary of the terror attacks. Now, information should only remain classified, the article says, if its release would pose a clear national security risk, and shouldn't remain classified, and I quote, it says, in order to conceal violations of law inefficiencies or administrative error, or to prevent embarrassment to a person, organization, or agency. Now, information collected and generated in the United States investigation, and I quote, of the 9/11 terrorist attack should now be disclosed, except when the strongest possible reasons counsel otherwise. That's that was a statement by President Biden in an executive order directing the declassification. Now, I actually have the executive order printed out. I'll also go back and post a link in the comments where after the video where you can go and click the link and actually read the executive order. Okay, but I'll go over that shortly. Let me continue reading the article. All right. Now, the article also shares that the White House has been under intense pressure ahead of the 20th anniversary from the family of victims and first responders who believe the classified documents may show a link between Saudi Arabian leaders and the attacks. Nearly 1,800 people affected by the attacks, according to the article, issued a statement last month opposing Biden's participation in any memorial events this year, again, this year being the 20th anniversary, unless he released more documents, okay? Saying that as a candidate, Biden pledged to be more transparent, okay? All right, continuing on with the article, there is a quote, okay? If you look on the screen here, there is a quote by someone named Terry Strada, and this person was quoted as saying, "We are thrilled to see the president forcing the release of more evidence about Saudi connections to the 9/11 attacks." And this person's husband was killed in the World Trade Center. Okay. And I quote, and you also see on the screen, the quote says, "We have been fighting the FBI and intelligence community for too long, but this looks like a true turning point." Okay. So again, according to the article, family members of victims as well as first responders had been pushing for more information to be released surrounding the events of September 11th, or 9/11 as it's also called. And so, there's, according to this person, they're saying that this is a turning point by the announcement that Biden has ordered the declassification of the September 11th investigation documents. Okay. Now, the article does go on to share that the 9/11 Commission report found no evidence implicating Saudi leaders in the attack, but said that Saudi nationals played a major role in funding al-Qaeda. All right. The Saudi government has denied any connection to the attacks. Now, there was a representative, Adam Schiff, who is out of California, and he is the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, said that he supports the release of the documents. Okay, legislation was introduced, the article says, in Congress to declassify this information. All right, now, Representative Schiff was quoted as saying, "As we near the 20th anniversary, which was just yesterday, of that terrible day, the families of those who were killed and all Americans have a right to know the full story, and the passage of time has mitigated concerns over sources and methods." All right, that is what Representative Schiff said in a statement. Now, 3 previous presidents, the article concludes, says that 3 previous presidents had declined to declassify the documents, with the Trump administration invoking the state secrets privilege in 2019 to justify keeping documents classified. Okay. Now, I am going to read a quote from President Biden, and also going to go over the executive order. But this is a quote that I found in my research from President Biden. Okay. He said, "When I ran for president, I made a commitment to ensuring transparency regarding the declassification of documents on the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks on America." This is what President Biden said in a statement. "And as we approach the 20th anniversary of that tragic day, I am honoring that commitment." Okay. All right. So on the next slide, I want to share with you some details. I'm not going to read the entire executive order again after the video. I will go back and post the link in the comments so that you can go and read it for yourself. But well, let me first say this. So a lot of information, this article, this executive order, I found on whitehouse.gov. So whitehouse.gov is an official government website. And so anytime that there is a press release or a statement by the president, a news briefing, this information is actually posted on whitehouse.gov. Again, that website is whitehouse.gov. And you can go back and you can read it more in depth. And sometimes, from what I have found just in researching, there are some information, some news information may or may not be shared at the forefront in the media. But again, if you want to, say, hey, let me do my research, let me see some things that are going on. What did the president release a statement about, or what were the details of the news briefing, the press briefings? You can find this information on whitehouse.gov. Okay, but again, after this video, I will go and I will post the link in the comments, and that way you can go and read it for yourself. All right, again, I want to say thank you all so much, those who are watching live, or if you're watching by replay, please take a moment and make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that whenever I do upload new content each week, you'll be the first to be notified. You can stay connected. Again, you all know I created the channel to help us understand, okay, what's really going on based on the times that we're living in. So much news is being pushed out to us, and we need to be able to look at that and say, okay, what do we really need to know? What's going on maybe that they don't want us to know about? And so by being a subscriber of the channel, you have access to that information as I receive it and share it. And you all know I give you commentary that you can use. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you share this video with your family members and friends. And also make sure you give me a thumbs up if you found this content to be useful and helpful. Okay. All right. So on the screen, I want to take a moment and I want to give you some details from the executive order on the declassification review of certain documents concerning the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001. Again, this information comes from whitehouse.org. I'm sorry, whitehouse.gov, whitehouse.gov. Again, I will post it in the comments and a direct link to the article so that you can read it. And this information comes from President Biden. So I'm just going to read some of it so that you can, kind of get an understanding of what this is all about. Okay. All right. So the executive order starts by saying, by the authority vested in me as president, by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, I hereby order as follows. Okay. Now we can say that these are in the words of President Biden. Okay. Section 1, he talks about policy. So I'm going to change my slide here. All right, so it's divided up into different sections as well as subsections. Again, I'm not going to read the entire executive order, but I do want to bring some of the points to your attention. All right, so again, let me start. These are again in the words of President Biden, by the authority vested in me as president, by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, I hereby order as follows. All right, Section 1, he talks about policy. It says many Americans continue to seek full accountability for the horrific attacks of September 11th, 2001, 9/11, including 9/11 survivors and victims' family members. As the 20th anniversary of 9/11 approaches, the American people deserve to have a fuller picture of what their government knows about those attacks. Although the indiscriminate release of classified information could jeopardize the national security, including the United States government's efforts to protect against future acts of terrorism, information should not remain classified when the public interest in disclosure outweighs any damage to the national security that might responsibly be expected from disclosure. The significant events in question occurred 2 decades ago or longer, and they concern a tragic moment that continues to resonate in American history and in the lives of so many Americans. It is therefore critical to ensure that the United States government maximizes transparency, relying on classification only when narrowly tailored and necessary. Thus, information collected and generated in the United States government's investigation of the 9/11 terrorist attacks should now be disclosed, except when the strongest possible reasons counsel otherwise. Okay, again, for those who are just joining, I'm sharing information that President Biden ordered the declassification of September 11th investigation documents. And right now, what I'm reading to you is information contained in the executive order on declassification reviews of certain documents concerning the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001. Again, I will be posting a link to this article in the comments after the video so that you can read this information yourself. All right. So I want to continue. Okay. All right. Section 2. Section 2 of the executive order covers declassification reviews. The article or the executive order says the Attorney General and the heads of any other executive departments and agencies that originated relevant information shall complete declassification reviews. All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Those who are watching live, I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. All right. Again, we're covering the executive order right now on the declassification of September 11th investigation documents. All right. Now, Part A of Section 2 says not later than September 11th, 2021, of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, or FBI, electronic communication dated April 4th, 2016, from the sub-file investigation described in Chapter 5 of the 2015 report of the Congressionally Directed 9/11 Review Commission to the Director of the FBI sub-file investigation, which was identified but withheld in full during discovery in the terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001. All right. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your support. All right. All right. Part B says not later than 60 days after the date of this order of, it says all other records that previously were withheld as classified in full or in part during discovery in raid terroristic attacks on September 11, 2001. And Part 3 says the 2021 FBI electronic communication closing the sub-file investigation. So again, y'all, the report goes into a lot of detail. Again, I'm just highlighting some of the points, okay? Part C says not later than 120 days. Okay, again, they're giving a timelines here. Not later than 120 days after the date of this order, this executive order. It says all interview reports, analytical documents reporting investigative findings, or other substantive records, including phone records and banking records, if any, from the FBI's initial investigation of the 9/11 terrorist attacks, known as the Pentagon Twin Towers bombings. Okay, and then they abbreviated it in all capital letters, PENTTBOM. Okay. All right. Investigation that referenced the individual subjects of the sub-file investigation and may be found through search terms, keyword identifiers, and other diligent means. Okay. And Part D says not later than 180 days after the date of this order of all records from any separate FBI investigation other than the PENTTBOM, that's the Pentagon Twin Towers bombings investigation, or the sub-file investigation of any individuals of the sub-file investigation that are relevant to the 9/11 terrorist attacks, or to any of the individual subjects' connections to an agency relationship with a foreign government. Okay. Section 3, again, I'm not going to read the entire executive order, but Section 3 discusses the standards for declassification. Consistent with Executive Order 13526 of December 29, 2009, and it says classified national security information. The Attorney General or the head of any other agency that originated the information, as the case may be, shall be responsible for conducting the declassification reviews and making declassification determinations for information that originated within their respective agency. Information may remain classified only if it still requires protection in the interest of the national security. Information shall not remain classified if there is a significant doubt about the need to maintain its classified status, nor shall information remain classified in order to conceal violations of law, inefficiencies, or administrative error, or to prevent embarrassment to a person, organization, or agency. Okay. All right. And then also, let's see, in the executive order, there's section 4, which covers the report to the president and the congressional intelligence committees. Section 5 talks about public release. Section 6 gives general provisions, and that is it. Okay, again, that is the executive order coming from President Biden that was released back on September 3rd, 2021. So again, I will be sharing that link in the comments right after this video. But basically, as the article shared, and also, I can agree that there does need to be transparency surrounding the events of the September 11th, 2001 attacks, not only for, of course, the family members of victims, as well as the survivors, the American people in general. I feel like we all need, some degree or some level of transparency, surrounding exactly what happened, who were the individuals or groups involved, in that tragic day. Also, I know just from research and listening to some of the hearings, some of the congressional hearings or Senate hearings, as they're called, I do know that, there have even been questions in the past, not even recently, but there have been questions in the past regarding transparency that was given to Congress as related to the declaration of war. We all are familiar with the long war, the war in Afghanistan, and I know that there have been questions related to transparency about whether or not Congress was given, made fully aware or given, enough details, information for there to actually be a declaration of war. So I do know that there are some questions about that. And then you all know that even living in the times that we're in now, we need transparency about a lot of things that have, recently occurred and have even been occurring over the past, almost 2 years now that we've been, or a year and a half or 2 years, getting close to, what we're currently dealing with now as a country as well as the world. And so, even a lot of people have questions about our country's recent exit from the country of Afghanistan. We can say that there needs to be transparency, clarity, openness. As you all can see here on the screen, I did a screenshot of this image, but it talks about transparency. In many things, in many areas, there needs to be clarity, openness, truth, accuracy, directness, forthrightness, believability, honesty, fairness, sincerity, about a lot of things that are going on. And so as a subscriber or as a supporter of Andrea Speaks TV, I would like to know your thoughts, your comments. You can type it here in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, you can just type it in the comments. I would like to know, do you feel like there needs to be more transparency, not only regarding the events that occurred September 11, 2001, but also, do you feel like there needs to be transparency regarding, some people may talk about transparency related to the origins or how the whole pandemic started. So please leave your comments. I would like to know your thoughts, your commentary on that. And I want to again say thank you all so much for supporting the channel. Today is Sunday, and I have several things to do today with family, but I did want to come on again to talk about uh, the declassification news regarding the September 11th, 2001 attacks. Again, my thoughts, my prayers go out to the families of victims, as well as to the survivors and those who were on the front line helping to save lives on that day. All right. So again, thank you all so much. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please make sure that you subscribe to Andrea Speaks TV so that you can stay connected whenever I do upload new content every week. Also, if you found this information to be helpful, to be useful, please make sure you share this information with your family members and friends, and also make sure you give me a thumbs up. So again, this has been episode 46 of Andrea Speaks TV. I want to thank you all so much for your support. If you are watching this video right now by replay, I want you to know that I appreciate you, because you could have been doing anything else, watching any other video, but you took time to watch and listen and to get an understanding. And for that, I appreciate you so much. All right. So you all continue to take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and have a great Sunday and a great start to your week. And I'll be back soon with more commentary, more news right here on Andrea Speaks TV. Thank you all so much.